Tell you what, I'm excited to get out of this lighting. It's pretty bad, isn't it, on the screen? Thankfully, it's only in that corner. But we are going to start with my Supercoach trades today, just a little bit different, and it's going to be 2 or 3 this week. The way I'm looking to play it is for Fafita to come in, and Nafahu White is leaving the side. I think we can just continue to make progress and upgrades in our side, and Nafahu's done an incredible job. I do think they'll continue to score pretty well. And the only thing with Nafahu is probably the fact that we can get him for round 13 and be a pretty good scorer. So that would be the reason to hold him. But that still is 6 rounds away when we need him. So Fafita is the upgrade now. He's at a pretty good price. We know he has the Supercoach pedigree, so he will be coming into the side. The third trade I'm not sure about if I'm going to lock in. If Egan is actually in the starting side and not the bench, I will trade Hubner to him. If he is on the bench, I think I'll stick with Hubner. He's got a break even of 3, and we'll probably slow down after this week, but I could use him as a guy to trade out next week if I wanted to. I have, a few different things I can do, but that's where I'm at currently. And I am trading Kalen Ponga out the side. Kalen to Pappenhausen is going to be the way. I actually never owned Pappy last year in Supercoach, and the team was JB's Schnackenhausen. So this year, my boy Purdue with the names doing well. The Jackson Duffies, unfortunately Duffy didn't make it any further than round 3, but Pappy's going to come in and he's going to serve as my potential captaincy man this week against the Dolphins, who I think have been playing pretty well. The Storm do like Suncorp, given a lot of them are Queenslanders, but Garrick is going to be the vice captain this week. Gutho was the other option, but it does make it tough for me I actually can't captain Pappenhausen if that was the play. So I think I'm going to have to go with Garrick. I'm excited by that. I think he can do pretty well at home against St. George, and hopefully it's a decent weather track, this one. And we'll lock that in, and then potentially that third trade with Hubnut to Dylan Egan for some good cash gains. And look, if he starts, he'd be a pretty good play, although he would be up against Olakau'atu on that left-hand side. So just going through the team for those on podcast, Starling, Haas, May, and Tino is wild to start. And Tommy's been playing really well and up against the Titans, so we'll lock that in. Mamazelis up against Bulldogs, so that's not a decision. Fafita, Horsburgh, and Preston, a nice return for Presto and Tino. Nicholson or Thomas Cant, or potentially Dylan Egan. It's one of those 3, in my opinion. I'm a little bit worried about Nicholson with his minutes, but with a break-even and neg 4, he clearly stays in the side. Thomas Cant as well, with the -1 break-even, so hopefully some good cash and a good score from him. But he's up against the Sharks, and the Knights aren't playing great, so we can't just rely on his base stats. We need to go for a little bit more upside, and that's where Nicholson can show that. As we've seen the last few weeks, a 90 odd and a 70. Halfback with Cleary. Hopefully a big game from him this week. With Campbell and Munster in the 5'8 slot. Garrick, Shibasaki, Greg Marzhew, Tom Jenkins right now. I'm actually pretty tempted to play Rob Toya, but I just don't know who it would be for. I think that he scores pretty well this week and finally gets a try on the board. And that's Pap Gutho and then Eli Katoa in the flex. So sitting there with either 32 or 33 trades, and either 2 or 3 boosts will be used this week. And I think we're setting up pretty well. I did have a quick look. I'm at 10 players coming into the first buy round, which you only need the 13, and we'll get to that pretty comfortably over the next 5 or 6 weeks there, which will be fine. So that's the Supercoach trades. And moving to my fantasy side of things, and what you may notice very quickly is that David Fafita has not made the side. I am making a couple of trades, and I was talking about the start of the week, needing some help in half. And we did get a bit of a godsend for my side anyway, with a few of the half options or the wing fullback options really needed to be in the mid 600s or close to 700k, and no one of real of a cheaper value that's going to be worth it until Adam Dewey came in. So for me, he really works. I do think there's lots of risks attached to it, but we know his scoring is really good in the half position. And I'm seeing this, he's got 4 games at halfback compared to heaps at 6, and the average is so different. It's not going to make much of a difference there. Being 7 or 6, they're going to split the role. He's going to get some kick meters. He's going to run the footy. He's going to tackle. He's going to do all the good stuff there that he normally would. And up against the Eels this week. So I'm excited for that. It could be a 3-week thing. There's some thoughts out there that the Latu Fainu are only going to be out for 3 weeks. But we know with those types of injuries that it's a 6 to 8 usually. And that should put him up to the round 12 bye, where if he happens to lose his spot or very happy with his services, we can move him on to someone ready to play in round 12. That's my theory with Dewey. And Seyfarth goes to Dewey, very simply on that one. My second trade was between a couple of guys, either Yongi or Tamale. And I just think that with Yongi heading into next week with the bye, I can use that. And there's a chance that things turn around at the Eels. And so with Yongi, I'm going to leave him in my side and I'm going to sell Tamale. But I am selling him to another centre in Kitiani Katonga. So I lose the centre wing fullback duel in Tamale, but I do gain the centre edge duel with Kitiani Katonga, which is cool. So I'm sitting there with Rob Toya currently in my emergency 5, which I as I just said in the Supercoach section, I think that he plays pretty well this week and probably gets a try. But the way that it's playing out right now, Kitiani and Stafford are the two better plays, and then I couldn't play him over anyone on my current bench. So Rob Toya, Sandon Smith, Hubner, and Yongi all miss the side right now. Next week I can loop Yongi and Katonga. I can play Rob Toya. Hopefully he does make the side, and if he doesn't, we are building in our halves. We do have Adam Dewey in there who can cover in that centre spot as well. And we do have at least some wing fullback cover. So we will be building in that position as we get closer to the bye period as well, with a few guys that are on my radar. You've got the Fletcher Sharps, the Carrazas, Tedesco's, especially after round 10 for Teddy. All could be good options for the side. And looking at my team right now, we've got Terrell Mayer's captain this week. I think he's the safest option. Payne Haas probably goes really well over in New Zealand, and Cleary probably bounces back. But I'm just going to stick with May, given his consistency. And in that really bad game when Haas scored 42, May even had a 51, and that was his low of the year. Super consistent. Got to lock him in. And you've got Yo, Haas there. Mamazelis, we're super happy with him. With Watson, some people are selling him. I'm sticking strong, at least for the next few weeks. He may be sold in round 10. Hopefully a bounce back game from Wong. And Watson after their 44 and 32. Just deciding as well, once the game comes out, once the final team list comes out, if Egan is starting or not. If he is on the bench, then maybe I could play Toya over him, but he could also get some big minutes as well with Egan. The worry with Dewey for some people as well is that break even, and I'm buying him personally for points rather than the cash gains. And if he makes cash along the way, which he should very quickly, if he comes out and scores 50 plus like I'm hoping, then that's fine. That break even this week doesn't matter too much, apart from if he only plays 1 or 2 games. But if he only plays 1 or 2 games, it's not really a good trade anyway. I'm needing him to play sort of 3, 4, 5 for it to be worth it, and then we can move him on from there. But yeah, Stafford, Katonga, Brimson comes into the starting side now, which is great with Campbell and with Jenkins, with Jenkins there, and hopefully a bounce back from Jenko. And yeah, they played really poorly, the Panthers there, and then Watson, Wong, Horsburgh, Nicholson in my interchange, setting up a pretty strong side, and we'll look to continue to improve on our numbers for round 12. If you didn't check out the latest video, go and do so with that one. That'll be very helpful for you. I think to just set your own team up, show what you can the things that you can do with your side, and what you want to improve upon coming up to round 12, and just obviously listen to the things that I'm saying, but put it up against your side and how that can it can best be suited for you. So I'll leave it there, guys, for my trades for Fantasy and Supercoach. Just using the 2 this week. I could trade a keeper to Fafita. He has a couple of different little things. I'm actually sitting there with the 178k. It would be nice if I had a guy that was near that sort of 500k mark that I could easily move up to him. It's just having a quick look now. You're looking at Brimson and Brimson and guys like that are around that 500k, or could go Watson to Fafita, could go Wong, could go Nicholson early, all these types of guys. But we know that things can go really wrong really quickly, and I don't think it's worth making that extra trade to make what could be a big upgrade this week, but could also be a very marginal one with Nicholson if he gets 48, you could see Fafita get 48 as well very easily. Or if Nicholson scores a try, he can go up to 60 or 70 as well. And a lot of these other guys in our teams can do the same. So that's my decision to leave Fafita out. At least I've got him in Supercoach. I'm not doing the double that like I have in certain other weeks with guys like Metcalf. So I'm going to get him in one. It seems to work out a little bit better. The times that I've doubled up or tripled up on things, like I went Payne Haas captain on all of them, was his lowest week, unfortunately. So yeah, it seems to be working that way when I hedge a little bit, and we'll stick with that for now. Which probably means I should, if I'm not playing Rob Toyer here, I should probably play him in Supercoach as well. The other thing I was just briefly thinking about was because Kartonga plays in the later round, in the last round. If I have Rob Toyer at 5, the other potential option I was looking at was seeing how he played in that week, and I am trading Tamale, who plays in the following game, the next day. If Rob Toyer happens to go 60 odd or something like that, then what I could actually do is get Jackson Purdue in at 469k. He was going to be making plenty of cash. He's doing really well. Instead of trading Tamale to Kitione Katonga, I could get Jackson Purdue if Toyer goes absolutely nuts. Could be my trade-in as someone who's not playing. So that was the other little thought I had, given they're all after that. Right, my voice is going. We'll leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for coming in to the trades video. Probably won't be a video tomorrow, or for me tomorrow, going through that Thursday game. We'll leave it until the Friday stuff there. Thanks so much, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Good luck with your captaincies and good luck with your teams this week.